Good morning, friends. It is Brooke with LegaSHE here. I was literally sitting here looking out my window at the boats going by. Really, it's a cool spot. Sometimes cruise ships go by. They're huge, going down the river. It's fun to see. And as I was contemplating the boats, it hit me that there are certain investments that we make in our lives. And, oh, there's another one. So calm. There's certain investments that we make in our lives that we may have remorse after we've made those investments. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about financial buyer's remorse and why it is useless to your life outcome. Every human on this planet who has ever lived on this planet and will ever live on this planet at one point or another is going to make a mistake in their investing. All of us. It's a human consistent element. We all have shared trauma, so to speak, in making a poor investment decision. It can be in a big honkin' asset, a giant home, a giant boat. That's what got me on this path, by the way. I started doing the math in my head of how much it costs to keep a boat. A boat, a giant home, a business that is hemorrhaging, bleeding money. We all have events in our lives, events that we can point to where we say we made a decision, we took a risk, we believe we understood the risk that we were taking, and then we have remorse. Or should we have remorse? So that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about that knife's edge where you make a decision for yourself around how you are going to meet the outcome of an investment that you have made. So most Americans, the majority of their wealth is in their primary home. That's a very common position for the average American to be in. It comes from call it 1940s, 1950s view of the American dream. And it just stuck. So home ownership is almost, if you want to think of it as a traditional way to think about financial security and your financial well-being, I think that would be a fair way to characterize home ownership. Unfortunately, and the world's evolved. So for some people, home ownership still is very important, and for others, it's not. And we don't judge on this channel at all what investments folks make. We just ask them not to complain when the investment doesn't work out after the fact. That's what we're talking about today. Because complaining gets you nowhere. It just lets the universe know you're unhappy, but no one's coming to save you. So you're not helping yourself in any way. So if you have a home and the majority of your wealth is in your home, no judgment, that just is. What if you bought a house that is now an albatross to you, meaning the amount of money that you have to put into the home is such a high percentage of your income that you are living, in effect, to pay for the home? Many people in that situation are going to allow themselves to be unhappy, anxious, angry. They're going to beat themselves up. Why did I do this to myself? Why did I make that decision on something that happened in the past that they can not change? You can't change the decision that you took, that at the time you took that decision for whatever reason it made sense to you, and again, judgment-free zone, it made sense to you. Beating yourself up after the fact does not help you in any way. You need to let that go. And you need to just work through, in a logical fashion, work through, what do I do now? What do I do now that I have this asset and it's not working for me because financially it is consuming me? This asset, it's starting to consume my days. I'm working for the asset. You should never be working for assets, my friends. Assets should be working for you. Never work for your assets. Never work for your assets. If you have been working for your assets, give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up. I have done it in the past. I learned my lesson. I can laugh about it today. So the point of this conversation is we all make decisions. We make a million decisions a day. And when it comes time to making investment decisions, we're going to make decisions. And some of those decisions are not going to be the best decisions. And it's not that you made the decision. It's the reaction after the decision that matters. What do you do in the aftermath when you have maybe awoken to the fact that the decision's not going to help you, or it's going to actually hurt you, it's going to hurt your financial future in some way? How do you get quickly from the realization to the acceptance so that you can take the steps that you need to take to unravel that? The reason I brought up homes is because there's a lot of emotion tied to homes. Right? I need this house. This is my house. This is my homestead. This is where I'm going to raise my kids. This is the best school system, and so on, and so on, and so on. If you were literally sitting in your front yard digging a hole all day long, digging a hole, even if it was the nicest neighborhood with the nicest schools, but all you were doing was sitting in your front yard digging a hole, because that's effectively what, like, sort of, when you think about it from a thought experiment standpoint, if you get yourself, because you believe you need it, you don't, you want it, but you believe you need this thing, you need that thing, and then you end up tying yourself in knots and sitting in your front yard digging a hole, i.e. working yourself to death for this asset, working for this asset. What is the cost to you and your family? So you have to ask yourself, at what cost am I willing to sacrifice my life, my health, my well-being, my mental state for this asset? Can I be happy not in this asset? If you answer no, you have a lot of work to do. Home is the place where people gather that you love. It's not the walls. As much as I love my home, if tomorrow someone told me there's something over there and your purpose in life is to be over there, okay. Thank you, universe. Let's go figure this out. Getting irrationally attached to material things, regardless of what those material things are, is a financial albatross for yourself. Can be a financial albatross for yourself. I understand the emotions attached. I understand the feeling that you're looking for in the house is something that you're thinking the home will create. The home can't create it for you. The financial decision cannot create the feeling you're looking for. You create the feeling you're looking for, and then the financial decisions follow from that. So, whatever it is you're investing in, do not be hard on yourself, first and foremost, if the thing goes sideways. It's not going to help you in any way. You just need to do the work that you have to do to put your head on straight so that you can get from this place of woe is me to this place of I accept I made a mistake and I've just got to get through the mistake. I got to get there as fast as possible. Better. That's one strategy, but a better strategy would be I made a decision. I'm not even going to call it a mistake. I'm never going to label anything that I have done that has been a choice of mine as bad, because then I swirl a whole bunch of negative thoughts around the thing that I did. Instead, everything that I do is going to just be a neutral choice that I made. And it was the best choice I made at that moment. And now for me to move forward from that moment, I have to make a different choice. And I don't judge the old choice. I let it go. I know that for some folks watching this, there may be a hesitation, almost a desire to cling to the negative connotations of certain financial decisions. I'm telling you, that's going to block your ability to be wealthy. No decision that you've taken about an investment was ever inherently bad or proved anything bad about you, or no, that's just an inner monologue that hurts you. Instead, you should be viewing the decisions that you're taking as just